The Selous Game Reserve in Tanzania encompasses 19,000 square miles of Africa's most unspoiled wilderness. Named after Frederick Selous, a famous big game hunter and early conservationist, it has always been a dream of mine to visit this reserve and pursue some of the fabled African species that call it home. It was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1982 due to its wildlife diversity and uninterrupted nature. Hunting has become a controversial practice in modern times. My name is Dan Cabela, and I'm traveling the globe to explore the true impact that hunting is having on our remaining wild landscapes. This practice goes as far back as human history can remember, but does it have a place in modern conservation? The Selous is a vast tract of largely uninhabited and intact natural ecosystem. There aren't that many places like this left in the world, which makes it pretty special to spend time in this area. I'm spending some time here to explore the hunting model that has managed to conserve this vast tract of land and keep it intact. There is an incredible variety and abundance of life here, from the apex predators through to all of the plains game birds and insects that call it home. However, as beautiful as this landscape is, no one mentioned that everything would be trying to bite me. The tsetse flies are horrible today. They're hammering me. This part of Tanzania is home to tsetse flies, which are carriers of a disease that is fatal for livestock, making it impossible to keep herds in this area. As a result, there has not been much overgrazing or competition for resources with wildlife, which has allowed populations to continue to thrive. The reality is that not everywhere can be a photographic tourism area. Areas like the Selous are remote and quite harsh landscapes for people to live in or safaris to operate.
International hunters will basically go anywhere where there's wildlife. So, tourism probably doesn't work extremely well where there's lots of tsetse flies, but hunting works very well.
The fact that hunters are willing to spend time and resources in these areas brings funding for the effective management of these landscapes. If well managed, it is the only way to sustain these natural areas and protect them from alternative land uses. This can be done with a very low impact on the land and wildlife populations if the quotas are well managed.
80 to 90% of the money you hunters bring in here is going back for the protection for the areas. It's all the animal which we know that maybe they don't have 3-4 years more. They're gonna die, natural. So that's the one we harvest or we hunt, just and give the chance to the young ones.
How many people do you employ?
There's more than 20 people now in the camp. The truckers, the drivers, skinners, waiters, chefs, There's the people in the village that depend on them. They know each other, their uncles, their aunties, their sisters, brothers. So all the money, all the income they get, they have to go and spend it with the family. So it's a benefit for the whole village.
We spot an old boar warthog and get off to stalk our first animal. In the Selous, the primary method of hunting is spot and stalk. So most of the hunting's done on foot. And there's enough plains game to support not only the predators, but also the hunting. And hunting is probably the best land use for a reserve like this.
Well done. Good for sure.
Having the privilege of pursuing wildlife here in the Selous makes me grateful for the early conservationists. They saw the value of keeping this land in its natural state, and hunting is a way to sustain that into the future. A new day breaks over this vast ecosystem, and we head out. Hunting can also serve to protect non-huntable species. Through protecting their habitat and prey species, they are given space to roam as they have for millennia.
In an environment like this, where hunting is the primary land use, all species are protected, and wild dogs are a great example. It's not a huntable species, but without this vast space, they would have difficult doing their own hunting. We saw him chasing the warthog, and it disappeared. And then all of a sudden it just popped up, I mean, right behind him, and now they're on it. Pretty exciting to see him this morning. First time for me to see this kind of action live from wild dogs, so very, very cool and very interesting. This pack of wild dogs have taken down this warthog. It's, you know, not the funnest thing in the world to watch, but it's a necessary part to their survival.
For areas like this to thrive, an immense amount of effort needs to be put into its management.
Benefit of the burning is for the games themselves. New roots comes out, and also to reduce the number of the tsetse and the ticks.
Sure.
Yeah. After 5-7 days, the new grass will come out, and the game will come here for the harshes and the new fresh grass. And then the other thing why we burn is if you leave the grass for years, if they catch up the fire can go for days and days. And this will affect more area, because if it's big fire, all the animal will move to another place. So that's why we do this.
While the Selous is massive, it still requires management, and fire is an important tool. As vast as this area is, a human presence is still required to make sure the laws are being upheld. Anti-poaching is crucial to stop the unregulated offtake of wildlife.
So the snares that we confiscated from the poachers are that one.
Yeah.
So they use it to catch animals. They set it at the trail where animals go to search for water. So when the animal get there, they hang at the neck and they die.
When animals are poached illegally for meat, the poachers are indiscriminate, and breeding females or youngsters yet to breed could be the target. Any harvest of wildlife needs to be controlled and managed to ensure that wildlife numbers are not being adversely affected by the offtake.
So this is our map that cover all area of Selous game reserves. Here we are, Kingupira. We patrol all the areas.
And how many villages approximately are in this entire block in this entire area that you're patrolling?
Village.
How many?
There is no village inside the reserves.
Nothing.
Nothing, no. No village inside the reserves.
There are no settlements inside the Selous Reserve. It's actually against the law. But there are a lot of settlements on the edges, so there's a lot of villages that border the concession. And we spent some time, talking to folks in those villages, and they deal with human-wildlife conflict on a daily basis. Politics across the world, especially in Western countries, they like to tell these people kind of how to manage their game. And I think that's a very convenient way to look from a distance when you're not actually dealing with elephants walking through your neighborhoods and knocking your houses down.
So if the elephant comes here, sense that there's something, maybe the banana, corns, and then food that they think it's good for them, they just break it and go through it. That's how people get hurt.
It was quite an eye-opener to hear firsthand the experiences the local community has had with wildlife in the area.
You see elephant then everywhere. You see these trees, all the trees are destroyed by elephant. So you see, even this morning they're here.
Where's the family now?
The family moved to another place. They think maybe there's something wrong here, They can't keep staying here. It's dangerous for them. The guy who died, he's the one of this house, and he just get killed from that big tree, you see? Yeah.
My name is Kelly Safari Sole. I'm the outreach officer of Tawa from Kingupira Station. With this team of village leaders and with the management of Selous Game Reserve, representing the Tanzanian Wildlife Authority, we thank you, Mr. Dani, for feeling that the pinch of this village or community living the village near the protected area where you are doing your hunting activities, and to see what is in there, what the problem they are facing from the wildlife. We are happy that you see things. Of course, we are suffering much. We feel that you are the part and parcel of us. Yeah. Thank you.
I think that in the first world, a lot of people think they know the answers to third world problems, but they really don't. And I think it's important to show people what it's actually like instead of what they think it's like. And just to really appreciate you guys taking me around so we could hear it firsthand from folks who have had to deal with this human-wildlife conflict, as well as the poaching. And I'm very appreciative and thankful for you guys to introduce me to all this.
In many areas across Africa, human-wildlife conflict is an issue. Hunting is a land use that incentivizes keeping land wild, but it can also generate revenue that can be used to help mitigate these conflicts, where wildlife is living alongside humans.
We were on the road and picked up a big male track of a lion and came down here into the bottom here and saw a female and a male. That's our first sighting of lions. We've seen some tracks, but pretty cool experience.
Well-managed hunting takes a scientific look at the species populations within an ecosystem and sets a quota that is sustainable and focused on harvesting old males that are past their breeding prime. East African impala are abundant in this landscape, and we set out in search of an old ram.
You said to put it high.
Yeah, like 2 inch high. Well done, Danny.
Thank you, sir.
Nice, good shot.
Thank you. Beautiful ram, huh?
Yeah, old guy. You can see the horn. It's nice ram. Look, it's old guy. Look, the base.
Yeah, it's even got a lot of white in there too, huh?
Yep,
Beautiful ram.
yeah,
Nice old ram.
yep.
There's something primal about the pursuit of an animal in its natural habitat. And there's a deep sense of connection and community that comes from sharing that success with others.
This is our local food.
There's always something special about sharing food with people, even if you are from different cultures.
Let's go, Chief. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Sunday.
It is a common joy that we all share, especially when it is meat from an animal that you harvested yourself.
I like this red stuff.
Yeah,
What's the red stuff called?
the tandu.
Chachando.
Yeah.
We've come on the wild dogs again. We've seen them quite frequently. We're able to stay pretty close to them, so it's really interesting watching them. And they're just coming down here to drink now, so pretty cool. I mean, I'd have to say it's the most I've ever seen wild dogs on any safari I've been on. And it's been very interesting watching them.
Seeing the wild dogs on this safari has been an amazing experience, and we've seen them nearly every day. That's a predator that can't be hunted. It's great to see high numbers of wild dogs in this area. This hunting operation provides opportunities for the community and takes on the enormous task of managing this concession. In turn, hunters bring dollars that help to preserve this paradise for generations to come. I am proud to participate in the model, as without hunters' contributions, who knows what the future may hold for wild places like these.